So now I'm going to measure the clearance on these journals here for pistons 3 and 4. I'll go ahead and measure 1 and 5, and then I've ordered some new ring sets for 2 and 6. Unfortunately, those broke. It happens. So I'm going to cut some plastic gauge.
What flavor did you get? Not fast.
Here, I'm gonna grab your basketball ball. I'm gonna shoot him though. Ready?
You better hop off.
Oh, I made it.
So we're going to torque these down to spec. It's going to be 5, 20, and then 70 degrees. That's Newton meters. So basically, finger tight as you can. It's about 5. Alright. So 14.8 foot-pounds is going to be 20 Newton meters. Okay, so 70 degrees. and 70. Alright, now loosen them up.
Oh yeah, I had to take off all the price tags.
I knew you would say that. No, I take that back. I just knew that. I just knew that.
That's going to be the last time I use these bolts because they're actually stretch bolts. And about one test is really all you're going to get out of that. Okay, so set this one here.
You missed when you tried. They did.
And the tolerance for these is 0.02 to 0.05.
Oh, if you close your eyes, you got that.
So this is 0.038. This is closer to 0.051, 0.05. Alright, well, we are in spec. So these two, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and then tighten them down. Those two will be finished, and then I'll move on to the other two, and then I'll just be waiting on the new rings to get here. These get tightened to 5 Newton meters, and then 20 Newton meters, and then 70 degrees. So 5 Newton meters is pretty much as tight as you can get it with a socket with your hands. 20 ends up being 14.8 foot-pounds. So let's get these to 14.8 foot-pounds. Okay, now from here it's a 70-degree turn, and this is the part that stretches the bolts just a little bit, and that's why you can't reuse these bolts. So I like to look at the crankshaft and then figure 70 degrees here, so it's easy to visualize that way. Too much. Okay, there's about 70. Okay, so these two are finished. I'll just put some marks on those to remind me that they are finished. Now I'll go ahead and do these two. So I'm just going to wipe these off a little bit for the plastic gauge. Have an oil hole here, so I think I can lay it right there. Okay, so 2 more pieces. Whoops. .051. Maybe 0.05. It's right on. The minimum is 0.055, so we're good. Just have to clean this up, put some new bolts in, put some lube on this side. Let's check the other one. .038, maybe a little under that, so that's well within specs. Yeah, 0.038. Let's see. Four new bolts. Put a little bit of oil on. Okay, torque those down. .8 foot-pounds. And then a 70-degree. Okay. Those two are done. Okay, so I finally got the new ring sets in for Pistons number 2 and 6. This is what I'm using here if you want to get the serial number. Alright, I think I'll try piston number 2. And I want to make sure that the ring gaps are clocked correctly. I'm just using this chart here. I've already got the other 2 rings on. Okay, so I'll start with piston number 2, and I've already got the oil rings in and the top compression ring is in. And I want to make sure I have these ring gaps clocked correctly. So here's our front mark. It's pointing this way, it's an arrow. And if I look at the gaps here, my lower oil ring is down here. The top oil ring is up here. So I need to move that one around. This bottom one here. So the upper oil ring gap is now here. The lower oil ring gap, I need to move it over. Okay. Maybe a little bit too far. Okay, so it's opposite. Okay, so the upper's here. I need to put the lower right here, opposite of the upper. Okay. The top ring gap goes here. And then here's the ring that I broke. It actually says top on it. Make sure that the top is facing up. And its gap needs to be here. Opposite of the top compression ring, which is here. The second compression ring is here. Okay, and then our top oil scrubber ring is here, the lower is here, so they're all opposite of each other. And the actual ring spacer, the oil spacer, is right here on this corner. So let's see if we can get this to go in without breaking. Okay, so I've already got some assembly lube on the bearing. I'm just going to go ahead and get this started a little bit. I'm going to use the mallet just to try to straighten out the ring compressor tool so that it kind of fits, it slides in just a little bit. So I don't want to break any more of these rings. And then I'm just going to use my hammer handle. Give this just a little tap to start with. Okay. And then check this again. Okay, well, that's about as tight as that's going to get. Yeah, see, it's actually off of the oil ring already. I need to do this over. Let's try this again. Give it a little tap. And then double check. Alright, this is it. The $30 tap. Alright. I think we're in business. Alright, let's try the other piston now. This ring right here, same as the last. Alright, here's number 6 piston. Let's double check these gaps, make sure everything's good. Okay, this one needs to be turned around. Or no. I've got the piston turned around. Alright, here's the front marker. Top gap should be here. Second ring, make sure it's pointing to the top. Needs to be about right here. Okay, so this is across from the top gap, directly across from it. And then here is the top oil spacer, lower oil spacer, oil ring spacer gap. Also looks good right there. Okay, so here we go. I've already got assembly lube on this bearing. Okay, that's just going to hold it there. Okay, it's looking pretty good. All right, smooth, the way it should be. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is test these connecting rod bearings with the plastic gauge for clearance, and if it looks good, we'll start putting the rest of the stuff together on this engine. Okay, looks pretty good there. All right. So number 6 I can reach, and I can reach number 2 also, so good to go there. Okay, here's a close-up view of number 6 piston crank journal. And what I'm going to do now is use the plastic gauge to get a measurement. And for the connecting rod, anywhere between 0.02 and 0.055 millimeters is within spec. So let's see what we get here. Just need to cut a little piece off. And I'll go ahead and do another one for the other piston. Alright. It's not exactly straight. There we go. Okay, so we're going to use the old bolts and put this cap back on. There's no lube on the journal or the bearing. And make sure I get this on right. So the sequence on this again is 5 foot-pounds each. Generally, I just tighten it down as tight as I can with my hands, and that's probably about 5 foot-pounds. Or I'm sorry, Newton meters. Okay, so 20 Newton meters is 14.75 foot-pounds. So 14.75. Okay. All right, now 70 degrees of turn. Do it this way. There's 70. There's 70. Okay, now let's take them off. And see what the plastic gauge did. Okay, see it's smashed out there. So anywhere from 0.02 to 0.055, and it looks like this is 0.038. Maybe just a little smaller than that. So yeah, it's still within spec. So that one looks good. I'll check piston number 2. Clean this up, put a little assembly lube on, and torque it down with the new bolts. I'm just using a little bit of starting fluid on a paper towel to get that off. It's kind of waxy. So, you know, brake cleaner would probably work fine. MAF sensor cleaner, something like that. Whoops. Okay, so let's put some assembly lube on there, and we're going to replace these bolts. Little dab will do it. And a clean paper towel here just to spread this. You don't need a whole lot, just a thin layer will do fine. Make sure the numbers match up. And really where these are cracked pistons, if you have any kind of a gap, there's something wrong. So these should be just hair thin once it's together. The seams on these are practically seamless. So with the new bolts, these are stretch bolts. Just put a little dab of oil. That way we get a proper reading on our torque wrench. It's not a lot, just enough. Okay, as tight as I can get it here. Okay, so that's 14.75 foot-pounds or 20 Newton meters. Now what you need to do is a 70-degree turn on each, and that, I think what happens there is it pretty much stretches the bolt and kind of locks it into place. Okay, set it right there. Okay, so these are finished here. You may have noticed on these bolts, I've actually torqued them down and went ahead and put an X on them just to remind myself that that's finished. It has been torqued correctly, so I don't want to mess with it. Alright, on to piston number 2. Okay, we're here at piston cap bearing number 2. And where I've rotated the crankshaft, it's actually put a little bit of assembly lube on this one. So we're going to clean that off. Okay. And we're going to do the plastic gauge one more time. Okay, lay it straight across there. And using the old bolts, I'm going to compress this down. That felt like 5 Newton meters to me. Okay, now 20 Newton meters for 14.75 foot-pounds. That's what I've got it figured. Alright, now a 70-degree pull. And a 70-degree pull here. Alright, now let's take it loose. Okay, now we can see the mark, and if we measure this, looks to be about just a little under 0.038, so we're good to go. So you want to clean this plastic gauge stuff off. It's kind of like a wax. And get it off of the bearing cap as well. New bolts. Make sure you put these in. And I'm going to need just a little dab of oil. If I could figure out where I put my oil can, here it is. So it's just a really small amount. Make sure the numbers line up. That is correct. Okay, 5 Newton meters. Perfect. .75 foot-pounds. And then a 70-degree turn from there. Okay, I believe that's it for the bottom end rebuild part.